What have you been up to, man?
Well, so school was over, and I was like, all right. Some friends we did a camping trip, and then we had like a little boat ride to Catalina, and a bunch of shit went wrong, and we popped a dinghy, and like we ate like raw steak because we so like I don't know, we just like so much bad shit kept happening. Yeah, our trips never go as planned, but so like that happened, and then I was like, man, I should probably like get a job and like get money. So I did that. I got my license a while ago. Now I have a car that I can drive around, just like.
I got a car
And
too now.
okay, what'd you get?
I got a 1998 Crown Vic.
What? You got a Crown Vic?
Dude, it's gas. Like it. Everyone thinks I'm a cop too, which also works out for me. And it's just one of those cars that, like, is the person that drives it. Like that car is me. Like it's at first glance you're like, well, that's pretty cool looking, but what is it? And then like you drive it and you're like, ooh, it's smooth and it's cool.
Is it? Okay.
What'd you get?
Okay, so it's not that I got it, but like it was given to me. I have I think it's a 2007 or 2009 Toyota Corolla, and it just happened to be like one of my favorite colors, and it's like a little bit more pigmented, like seafoam green, but like it's nice. It's smooth. It gets me where I want to go. For now. Yeah. Once I have like thousands and thousands of dollars, I can get like a dream car or whatever. But
that Hollywood money.
Yeah, you know it.
You're in a school for theater, right?
I am. I'm majoring in theater arts. Yeah.
What's that like?
Well, okay. So high school, right? Most of the time I was in high school, I was like, man, I'm doing culinary. I did culinary for 4 years. I'm like, I like working with food. It's fun. But then just like towards the end, it was like on the, I don't know, my interest was going down. And then, so the funny story of how I actually got into like theater and drama was I was going to take Spanish 1 my senior year of high school, right? Because I never took a language.
Bro.
Right? So hear me out. So the reason I never took a language because it was I heard like freshman year, like, you don't need to take a language. And I'm like, all right, I won't. And then I took film, which I didn't know fulfills those requirements for a language because you watch foreign films, right?
Okay.
So I checked my like the credits that I needed, and it said I didn't need the language. I'm like, all right, fuck this. So first day of school, I dropped Spanish 1. And my counselor's like, all right, so we need to fill that with either intro to piano or drama. And I was like, fuck it, I'll do drama, right? Ended up, walked over, met DeQuino, and I was like, okay, this will be fun. And just like, it was just like on a spiral up. Literally like 2 weeks into class, DeQuino's like, hey, would you want to be in a play? And I was like, you serious? He's like, yeah, we got a role available for you. And then I was in spelling bee, and I was like, whoa. And then someone was like, you should work on dinner theater. And I'm like, fuck yeah. So I worked tech for dinner theater. I met you, by the way, which, here we are today.
Hey, look at that.
And then I think during spelling bee, DeQuino's like, hey, do you want to, what is it called? Oh my God. Do you want to be an ASM for Peter and the Starcatcher? And I'm like, I'll just keep working on everything, So it was just like, like I kept meeting people, and I kept, I was just like, this is so much more me, I feel like I was like in tune,
Yeah.
And then Little Shop of Horrors, I was like, man, I gotta audition for this, I auditioned. Personally, I thought I killed it, and I heard rumors that like I was apparently already gonna get the role, but I was just auditioning for it, and I was like, okay. And I got it, we
Mushnick,
Mushnick, hey,
hey.
My son, hey. And as you know, the
story break into song on the podcast.
I mean,
no,
just kidding.
Bro.
But we did all the rehearsals, and as you know, something happened and we had to like cancel it.
Some global pandemic.
Yeah, it's
something.
Look, it's just what can you do?
What are you gonna do?
So yeah, so college came around. I was like, what the fuck should I? You know what? I'm gonna keep pursuing this. And part of the reason that happened was, I was going to like go get my like cap and gown and like all that stuff for like school for like the graduation. And I was gonna return the script for The Little Shop of Horrors to DeQuino, and I went to like return it. He's like, "Oh, where's your theater stash?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know I was allowed to like get one." He's like, "Yeah, you deserved it." And I'm like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, he's like, "Yeah, you should go get it." And I'm like, "You know what? I will." And now that just like it set it in stone. And I was like, "Holy fuck, this is wow." Like, I feel this feels good.
Yes.
So when like picking classes came around, I was like, well, I hated fucking online school. That are we allowed to curse?
Yeah, we're allowed to curse.
Okay, I don't know.
You're talking to me, dude. I've got like
I'm-
the dirtiest mouth south of freaking Wolf of Wall Street.
okay. Um, so classes came around and I was like, well, I could take all of my like my GEs, but I hate online schooling, so I'm not going to do that. So I just took my major classes, so like acting and like intro to theater and all that stuff. And like, towards the beginning I was like, who are these people? I'm just a little freshman in college. What am I going to do? But like, oh my god, it was out of school after the like 12 years that I've been doing schooling, or I guess 13. This is probably one of my favorite years. Because like my professors, Tom Bruno, Cynthia Corley,
Shout
you
out.
know, shout out to them. If you're watching this, hello. Um, uh, I don't know. It's just like their way of like teaching. So like, okay, when you're going to school in like high school and you're like learning stuff, you're like, this is okay. But when you're learning about something that you actually care about and you're passionate for, it makes it so much better. And you're just like, wow, like your attention's actually there. Your focus is on the money.
Yeah.
And I don't just like my monologues, like our homeworks and stuff were like, I don't know, I felt like I was improving, um, you know, and like I was learning, Stanislavski, love the guy. Um, and yeah, and also I was in theater rep, which is the OCC student run theater program.
Uh-huh.
My goodness, love those guys. Doing online theater is kind of rough, I'm not gonna lie. But like those 2 semesters, like we did like I guess I didn't act in too much of them, but like I was just a part of like everything. um and like I did like a little bit of voice acting the first semester. I can give you the link to the OCC or the theater rep like page where we have all of our stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like what was it, prophets of the prophets of the last 12 days, I think it's what it's called, or something like that. I voice acted a character in there called Black Bar, and I was like the villain, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And like now I have like an actual microphone, and like I have a ring light and like a camera.
I've got one too.
It's pretty nice,
We could do ASMR sometime, yeah.
Is it on an arm though? Is it on an arm? I don't think I don't think it's on an arm though.
No, but this one I can move around like this.
I can move it around like this. Oh,
Move it around like this.
I don't know. There's some on here, I think.
There might be a little. There's a setting on the back here, right?
Oh,
there.
is that a blue Yeti right there? Yeah, it's got a little knob on there.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving on. So second semester, our like big project was a Zoom version of A Midsummer's Night Dream. Shakespeare,
Yes, I'm familiar.
Yeah.
Demetrius was like my boy.
Is he now? Okay.
Yeah, because I always play the asshole. I don't know what that is. I mean, they're pretty good at typecasting, man. I always play the dick for some reason.
I can see that.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate it, buddy.
So the reason I didn't audition for that was because I had gotten a role in another play that someone was in.
Someone.
It was written by DeQuino.
Oh. Oh,
Members of a family, which
I was one of the leads.
You were there. Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah, he just one day I get a phone call from a number I didn't have on my phone, which sorry about that, DeQuino. So like I answer it, and I'm like, or I didn't answer it. I got a voicemail and I was like, I hear it, and it was him like offering. He's like, I got a role for you if you're interested. And I was like, but at the time, this was back in January, I think. I had a little thing. I had COVID, the coronavirus. So we like talked about it, I'm like, as soon as I test negative, I'm 100% down to like be a part of this, which I did. And, well, the screening's this Sunday?
You going?
I'm going.
All
I'm
right.
going. Yeah. I'm see you there. Yeah. So that just came out of the blue, and I was like, let's fucking go, So I was excited for that. So I did an audition for we called it Midzoomer because it was on Zoom.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
I see what they did there.
Yeah. And then also it was like the script was heavily like edited so that it could work with Zoom, and it wasn't as long. So I didn't have time to do that because
hold on real quick. Do you mind not moving around in the chair so much because it's squeaking like a dog's toy?
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm just excited. I'm excited.
I get it, man.
Okay. I need to buy a new chair, I'm gonna new chair fund.
Midsommar's Nightstream.
Midsommar Nightstream. So I wasn't able to audition for that because I was busy with members of the family. So me being the only person with a pretty beefy computer, I've spent like $1,500 on it, and like this monitor is fucking huge and it's nice and it looks good. And I know. Good. Thank you. Well, my camera's kind of shitty, but like, yeah, thank you. So I offered to edit it. I'm like, yeah, I know how to edit. I use Sony Vegas. I'm pretty good at it. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And like my friend Josh, love the guy, Josh Uwe. I don't know if he's in the Philippines. Shout out to Josh. He was, since he was in the Philippines, he couldn't help too much, but he did a little bit of editing on his phone. So pretty much I recorded everything for them on Zoom with OBS, and then so it took a week, I think, to record everything, and then it took me like 2 weeks to edit the entire thing. I because for rep our homework was pretty much counting our hours that we worked on projects. And it was like 70 something hours that I'd spent pretty much just by myself editing the entire thing. And honestly, the final product, I think it turned out pretty good, not gonna lie. Like it was like, it's like 40 minutes of footage, but like 2 hours of just straight editing.
Yeah.
And like the backgrounds, which the people of the rep created, but like I put that Gaussian blur in the back, and like all the so pretty much I had to cut out every single person's face on Zoom, so I was able to like move them and have them come in and out as they were coming in and out of the scenes. And my God, it was like, I think the last day I spent editing, I edited for 13 hours straight, because I'm like, I've been working on this for 2 weeks. I should probably finish this. So I started at like 12 in the afternoon, I guess.
Yeah.
And I finished at 1 a.m. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go to bed. Woke up the next day. I left it rendering overnight. I turned it in, and I was like, all right. And then we watched the entire thing. And then there was one part at the very end that I forgot to edit out, and it was the voice of my professor Tom Burno, because he was covering he was doing like the reading for someone's line that wasn't there, because I had edited them in later, but I forgot to take that out. And just 40 minutes of us watching it and everyone enjoying it, just at the end there's just one line that he says that I forgot to take out, and everyone just in the chat was like, no. That's like, fuck. So then I spent like another hour taking that out. But yeah, Midsommar, you gotta, it's a good watch, not gonna lie.
Where can I access that?
So it's let me see.
Can I put the link in the bio? Would that, can I, in the description?
We can put it in the, I need to stop speaking in the chair. We can put it in the description, okay? And
we'll drop it in the description. Go check it out, you guys.
You guys should go watch that.
It seems like you're really falling into this whole theater world as like a home, and you hadn't experienced any of it before senior year.
Nope.
So
well, yeah, no.
School all of a sudden now has become interesting because there's a passion in it, right? I found it too. I found it freshman years when I really fell into it, and it's given me a reason to want to go to school and learn and expose this whole new world. Do you feel like that's why so many people struggle to either pay attention or struggle to give a shit, because at the bottom line, they don't give a shit?
So it's literally like, if you don't have a reason to be at school, it's like there's like there's so much stuff that like you don't care about that's just being like force fed to you. But when there's that one like whole like light at the end of the tunnel where you're like, I cannot wait to go to this class, or I can't wait to like do this after school for this, like, it's just, I don't know, it's that silver lining that I think is really important, and so many people don't get. You know, there's so many people that are just like unmotivated and unpassionate, which kind of just screws over their schooling experience. But like, I don't know, hopefully those people like eventually find it, you know?
Yeah, that's what I want to do with this interview show, because I found that passion, and I had Dr. Bolton on like 2 episodes.
I saw that. That's cool.
It was freaking great. And I want people to watch this and see all these different types of people that have a passion and be like, look, maybe I can try that, and to continue to try different things, because if you don't try different things, how are you ever going to find the thing you're passionate about?
That's true. That's true. Literally, like, you could have asked me like freshman through junior year, like, hey, you gonna like, are you a theater guy? You gonna get into theater? I probably would have been like, what? Probably not. I don't know.
Dumb.
As like right now, like, you know, and like the first day before I like got into like drama, you could have asked me like, you gonna do drama? I probably would have been like, probably not. But like it just happened, you know, just like the stars aligned, and I don't know, it worked out.
It's crazy because I've only known you in that time after you've been doing that. And it's as much as I feel like I've known, like every time I talk to you, I feel like I've known you forever. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's yeah, I know what you mean.
It just like clicks. I don't know why, but it's crazy to think who you were before you started theater. I mean, you've got such a positive, upbeat attitude. You're just like, every time I've been around you, it's been like being around a freaking, I don't know, a feel-good machine or something. You just, you electrocute positivity. I mean, have you always been like that?
I mean, yes and no. I'd say definitely senior year was when it like, I kicked it into overdrive of just like positivity and sunshine. And it wasn't like that all of senior year and like all of like before like high school and stuff. I was, you know, like, you know, as people do, you know, deal with depression and stuff. And, you know, like, it's, you know, it's kind of like, I don't know, like when I talk about it, it's sort of like, not that I get choked up, but it's, you know, it's kind of hard to talk about it. But like, especially senior year, right? So like, you know me as like, yeah, right? Yeah. And like, I made it like a point, you know, like it's my senior year, like I'm a top dog at the school, right? So like, I don't care what anybody says. I'm gonna make it a point to be as positive as I can be, you know? And, you know, for like a while, you know, I was like being so like, I would put in this positive energy. And then like a month or two into senior year, I was like, damn, a lot of people do not care for positivity. There's no reciprocation of that, just like positive energy, which kind of sucks, you know, like when you're trying your best to be like the best person you can and nobody else just cares. And they're just like, they're kind of, you know, Debbie Downers and whatnot. I was like, damn, that sucks. And, you know, like I was upset about it. But then I was like, who cares about them, you know? If they don't care, who cares? I don't care. So then, you know, I just kept hitting the nail on the head, you know, just nailing in that happiness, you know. And it's done me wonders, you know. I feel like it like boosted up my confidence so much, and like I can handle pretty much any situation now. I think, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking out of my ass, but I don't know. It's nice. It's nice to be who I am now, you know.
You
And it's
realize,
because,
no, go ahead. Sorry.
well, I don't know. It's like people say like you got to work on yourself, and like that's true. Like, not gonna lie, like if you don't put an effort into yourself, like what are you gonna do with your life, you know?
You realize that's not a normal thing people do, what you just said. Like go from just decide. I mean, what made you just decide one day, you know what, I'm going to be a fucking positive person and just start drilling it in every single day until you've become someone that emulates that?
Depression, you know, once like cuz like a lot like mental illness and like a lot of bad shit like runs through my family, and just like seeing that and being like that's somewhere in me, and like it like I hope one day that doesn't like come in full force. And like it was slowly starting to creep in junior year, and I was like, I don't like this at all. um and I was like, let's make it a point never to get, not to go down ever, and try to keep going up, you know.
Yeah. That's strength right there, man. Do you ever feel though, like, because this is something I'm going through, and I've never really talked to anyone about this, but like, well, in sixth grade, I was diagnosed with OCD, and like really badly. Like I had really bad intrusive thoughts, which they're really fucking twisted, dark things. You can Google them. I don't want to go into them. It's very horrible, especially for a young kid, because you can't. It's kind of like, you ever hear Eminem rapping like "Kill You" or "Kim," and you're like, listen to it, and you're like, what the fuck is this? How does any human being
outlandish stuff? No, yeah, I know what you mean.
Imagine those type of thoughts racing through your brain about your family, and you have no idea if you're actually going to act on them or not, because you're fucking 12 years old. And
yeah,
I feel like I did go through that phase, what you're talking about, of actively working on myself. Like I didn't spend a lot of time with other people. I just spent all my time working on myself, being like, I have to fucking overcome this. I have to overcome this. I have to overcome this. And then this last year or so, since I've worked so hard on it, I feel like it's not even a part of me anymore. And then I feel like guilty or weird saying that I've had it, or does that make sense?
No, yeah, dude, you know, it makes complete sense. Like I know I've had some fucked up thoughts, and it's like, sure, like it's a fleeting thought, but it's like, yeah, my brain just thought of that. Like for like I don't know, I feel weird like saying it out loud.
Yeah, dude,
it's just like, oh, I can't believe I was like, I thought that, you know, my goodness. Like I don't know, I feel like that can't be, like I feel like a lot of people, maybe not, I don't know, maybe just like there's no way that like the thoughts that I've had aren't things that like people have also thought of, you know.
Yeah,
like it's like in the majority.
I
don't know, it's so weird.
But do you ever feel, because you said you suffered from depression for a bit there, right? Do you ever feel like, what happened to that? Like, did it just go, like, because this is how I feel with the like OCD, because I'm like, what, sometimes I think, dude, I used to be like lying on the floor, like not able to move because I couldn't fucking like stop these and now I'm like, it doesn't even like cross my head. Like I just I'm like, what happened? Did it just go away? Is that what happens with mental, like I don't understand.
Well, so I don't think it ever goes away, if I'm being honest, because like that's the reason like people like late in their age like take medication every single day for like antidepressants and stuff like that. I don't think, like, I think it's just like it's something like that's a part of you that you either overcome and you're on top of it and you don't let it get the better of you, or, you know, worst case scenario, you don't get the better of it, and you know stuff happens. But like every now and then, yeah, like I like remember of like where I was, and I was like, I try not to like think about it too much, because like if I do and like I get in my head, it gets bad, like, you know. And I guess like an issue of that is like bottling up, you know, like just keeping everything inside and never talking to anyone about it. which is a huge mistake, and nobody should ever bottle up. That is really bad. And when the like cap opens and just everything comes out, it's just, you feel so bad, you know?
Yeah.
In that moment. But then once everything's out, you know, you leak a little bit from the bottom. You know, it's good to talk about your issues, you know, and just like have them out on the table and be like, okay, you know, it's bad, but like it's not like a barricade that I'm never going to get past, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
No, it does. Did finding theater and finding something you were truly passionate about help you move in a positive direction?
Yeah, I'd say it wasn't like the sole contributing factor, but it was a big factor that like helped that final breakthrough.
Yeah, I feel like that's addictive personalities, or people with at least for me. I can't speak about other people, but I realized the stuff going on negatively up here really faded away, at least, because I don't want to say it completely disappeared, because little things pop up, like I fucking can't have the doors open or else I want to explode, which is I can't explain that. But when I find something I can put an addiction into, whether that be getting into a character and acting, whether that be lifting, whether that be riding my bike, whatever it is, when I can full force put it into something else, or like try to channel it somehow, I feel the negative parts of it start to like take a back seat. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, it does make sense. But okay, so like, I sort of get you. Maybe okay, so like, yeah, right. You're doing these things to like get them out, right?
Yeah.
But like, I did that a lot, especially with like video games. You know, you either like them, you don't, whatever. Video games, but it eventually gets to the point where you're just like sort of numbing that part of yourself with this, you know, and that's like sure, it gets rid of those like dark thoughts and emotions and feelings, but like you're just numbing it, you're not getting rid of it, because it's still something that you have to deal with. And I'm not saying that's something that like you're doing, you know, because it seems like you're more of overcoming than numbing, you know. But just like for people out there, like, you can't just ignore it, you know.
I think you've been through much more than I have, so what I'm talking about is not to compare myself. It's just to try to think things through. I mean, how do you overcome it then, in your eyes?
Well, it's not something. I guess overcoming it is putting it is like such a like blanket term, because like everyone's different, and there's some things that like take a lot much more effort to overcome, you know. I don't know, it's a case by case thing. It's not something that you can just like put a band, like, well, you can't just like, someone can have a cut, right? You can put a bandage on it, they have a wound, right? But like, let's say they have like a gash or like something bigger, you can't just put a band-aid on it. It's not the same for everyone, if that makes sense. I don't know, like, it's something that like definitely like, I don't know if I'm like the perfect person to give advice for, you know.
You're just somebody.
I'm just somebody that like has dealt with it, and there's other people that have dealt with similar stuff, and like it's all different, you know. It's, I don't know, it's tough, you know, to like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's no blanket way to fix problems, like anything like this. So I only can speak from experience, or just to ask and just to learn, because dude, I don't know anything about serious depression like that. I genuinely don't. And that's, I think, a problem with people as a whole. We don't know these things, and so we can't relate, and so then we can't empathize, and then we can't see your issue, and then we treat you negatively or not properly, because we don't know how to interact, because we don't know what those experiences are like, right?
Yeah, well, it's so fucked that like, I don't know, I feel like right now the world like sure we're like connected through, I don't sound like super stupid, but like connected through like the internet and like smartphones and stuff, but like I don't know, like us as people, I don't feel like we're that connected, you know, like there's like, you look at like, especially, I don't know if you ever had thoughts of like you'll be like driving down the street, or like you're like on the freeway and you're like, holy fuck, all these people and all these cars have all lived lives that are so different, and we're all right here just on the same freeway, but none of us know each other, none of us know what anyone has been through, but like we're all here.
Dude,
And
it
I don't
trips
know,
the fuck
it's
out.
so, it's like, oh, what the fuck,
That's why I just started asking people, and then someone said, "Dude, you should start a podcast." So I started a podcast because I just started asking people like way too many questions, because I would sit down with like the random guy at the hot tub and just start like slowly chipping away until he started telling me his life story, because it fucking fascinates me. I'm thinking there's either one of two possibilities which are equally scary to me. Either one, I'm the only real conscious because I'm the only one that I can prove. Or two, everyone is equally as conscious as me, and there's literally billions of fucking stories out there that we don't even know. And even the people we do know, like the famous people, we know jack shit about.
We know jack shit about them. Yeah.
Dude.
It's such a fucking trip to think about. I don't like, okay, like a big thing of like why I like love working where I work is I see so many people come in and like just like I love interacting with people, and just seeing the way like someone will walk up and just like either they either like are they there and like, let me get like, I'll have like popcorn and like a drink, or like they'll be like happy and like they'll have like a conversation, they'll be like, hey, you know, it's just those like interactions that make me feel like, whoa, you know, I don't know, it invigorates me.
It's literally why I work at an ice cream shop and at the beach. And it's so like, I don't want to say the other coworkers don't care, but sometimes I feel like if we just all like
I know, I think I know what you're talking about, and yeah, I know that I know that exact feeling.
People are like, dude, why do you try so hard with customers? I'm like, because I genuinely just care. Like I actually, right? Why is this person in an ice cream shop? What did they do today? Like, I'm not going to be able to know their entire life story, but maybe I can learn a little bit more. Why does everyone that ordered coffee want it like that and they want to leave? But everyone that's in there getting ice cream is usually calm and relaxed. The parents that are different with their kids, the kids that are different with and the people on a date versus the people that are brother and sister. Like, just looking at all these, and that's why I love acting, dude, because we get to tell those stories. We get to use that and have to recount it, you know?
And it's such a like, it's such a like weapons that you're just collecting for your arsenal, if that makes sense.
No, yeah.
It's so important to just have those like little experiences that you're like, as small as that interaction is it's still an interaction that you had with another person, right? And it's all just like flooding into you, you know?
This is something I got into a little bit of a debate with on the last episode with a buddy of mine, Andrew Burgess. I was of the I was of the belief that everybody is capable of that, and everybody should be or should try to learn from each other, so then they can try to empathize more, and that way we can become more connected and understand our problems more. Right? Like when people are on polarizing spectrums of either politics or whatever it is, if they just sat down and talked to the person, I feel like a lot of problems could be solved. Do you think that everyone is capable, or everyone should do what you and I do and like try to dive into people's minds like that? Or do you think that's a rare thing?
Well, okay, so I do think it's a rare thing, and I don't think that's a good thing that it's rare. I feel like so many more people, squeaky chair. I feel like so many more people should try and just like put in the effort to like do that, even if it's just like talking to one new person today that you see. It doesn't have to be like every person that you see. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be like the most outgoing person, but just taking little steps, I feel like is so important, just to like living like a healthy lifestyle, just interacting with people. And I don't think that anyone's too far gone, you know. I don't feel like there's like a point of no okay, maybe okay, like if you like killed someone, like you're a massive serial killer, maybe you're a little too far gone. But like even like like I've seen some murder documentaries, and some of those people are pretty charismatic, and it's
Well,
like
yeah, you look at them like they're a
if
fucking
if
person.
if they can do it, you know, there's no reason that just like any old Joe Schmo can't do, you know.
Yeah.
But there's people that just aren't willing to put in that effort, and that's on them, you know. It's not that they can't, it's just that they don't want to. And you can't force people. You can't force them.
I found that I've discovered so much more about myself once I've adopted the what I call on here being the anti-guru, acting like I know nothing. Right? Gurus know everything about their topic. I know nothing about anything. And if I go in with that mentality and or at least try, like I'm never going to be 100% perfect. I'm sometimes I'm going to be a dick, right? Sometimes I'm going to be a know-it-all. I'm going to be an asshole. It's who I am at heart. I'm kind of a selfish guy, but actively trying to learn from other people and listen to them and not discredit them just because of it seems like they don't just not discredit them at all until you take the chance and listen to them and then make the decision. All right, this person knows fucking nothing and I'm not gonna, they're just a freaking troll. But you gotta, I feel like once I've taken that time and tried to change my perspective, it's shown me so much more about myself. Like, what do I have to complain about? My problems are nothing compared to the, like, I don't know. And not in a comparison sense, but just in a sense of, I don't know. I felt like I've learned a lot more about myself when I've tried to learn more about others.
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfectly reasonable, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you found that?
I'd say so. Cause I don't know. It's not that you're like a different person when you're doing this, but it's you're so much more open to like new stuff and like change and like listening and like actually like opening your ears and like understanding like someone else's like point of view and like their stories and stuff. It all adds to character, you know.
Yeah.
It's like we're constantly changing, like, you know, like you learn something new every day. Like, yeah, that's completely true if like you make that effort to do so.
It's not just gonna happen. You have to
Yeah, you can't just like stay inside every day and just like, I'm so unhappy with my life. It's like you gotta like touch grass, you know, like go outside and like.
No, I feel like that's why so many people during COVID.
Yeah, I know COVID fucked people up for sure.
Went through periods of like they'd never experienced depression, and they went through periods of it, and they went, "Oh, holy fuck, this is a real thing," you know. And I think it's much worse on a more detrimental when it's all the time. But when being put in that headspace, when you don't try to do something, it's not gonna just happen. At least I don't think. Like you, for example, you're kind of showing me that every like overly positive person or super positive person, they're probably not like that just because they're like that. It didn't just pop out of the womb. Like they're trying to be like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's the same way with interacting with people. Like I get from people, "Oh, dude, you're just so good with the customers." Well, yes, but it's not because I'm like just talking out of I'm trying to be good with people.
It's not that you're just not like naturally good with customers. It's not like a trait. There's so many more things that just go into being good with customers.
Yeah. Do you like working in customer service?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I just like, dude, just like the times where like, so there's like different positions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like even like the smallest position of like just like standing at the podium and ripping the tickets, and like the first face that people see when they walk in is just like one time I was ripping the tickets for this mom, and there's like 5 little kids, and I ripped them. I handed them to the kids, and as I was handing them, one kid was like, "Fist bump," and I fist bumped this little kid, and then they all in the line just started fist bumping me, and just like, I don't know, just like, I don't know, I couldn't imagine not like customer service is so much fun. Just like yeah, you're serving, you know, whatever, waging or whatever, but I don't know, it's so much more than just like working for money, you know. you get so much more out of it than just money.
I 100% agree, man. It's the little things when you're working customer service that just make, I don't know, because we have a tip jar, right? And I found when I just stopped kind of caring about trying to get the tips and just focused on actually caring about the customer, the tips started just coming in. And I was like, and I think that's because people appreciate other people caring about them, or other people. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, just like I don't know, it sounds weird, just like being human, because like so many people I know, especially me, before like I started like actually working, like you just like you go to like a place and you just like order food and you're like thank you, but it's like where the fuck am I going with this? So like yeah, you go and you interact with these people and just like you have so many experiences where like they're like here's your food, have a good day, but like I don't know, just like the little times where like people like not put in more effort, but like when they seem human and you're just not like interacting with like a robot that's handing you your food, it's so much better,
So much better, dude.
So much better.
It shows like this is what life could be. And it's, you know what? It's fucking hard sometimes to go to the cashier and go, hey, how's it going? And actually try to do that when you're just getting your bag of Cheetos from the store. Mm-hmm. But it's just as hard for the person on the other side of the counter. Like we all have shitty days sometimes, but I feel like what you're getting at there when you're talking about those like stale interactions, it reminds me of just texting. Those people are just texting each other, just with their mouths.
Holy fuck, yeah, they're just texting each other.
They're just texting each other with their mouths.
That's a perfect way of putting it.
And honestly, man, I fucking suck at texting and Snapchat and all that shit. I'm not, and I don't know. Are you good with that stuff? Are you good like over the phone and like whether it's dating, whether it's just talking to people?
I feel like okay, so yes, but not for like the same. Okay, so like I'm a gigantic, like enormous overthinker, and I overthink the tiniest details. So when I'm having to write something and I'm looking at the words on my screen or on my phone, I'm like, should I send this? This is, I don't know. And then like I rethink it, and I think that like adds to like being pretty good at like texting and like conversations and like being on the phone and just like so I feel like for me at least that the texting side translates to the like in person like ta-da. But I know it's not the same for everyone,
Yeah. I have a hard time. I feel like when I do those things or really, because I overthink everything too. And I got to the point where I'm like, you know what? If I write it, I'm just gonna send it. I'm not even gonna think. I can't, because I know once
the fuck it mentality is just like fuck it. I'm just like doing stuff.
Because I realized that's me in person. I can't. I don't have time. I don't overthink it. I just do. I just be. Yeah. I just talk. And over phone, I'm like, I'm gonna try to do that. But I can feel kind of like when you're in a restaurant and the guy just goes, "Here's your food." I can feel that through the phone, and I'm like, this disinterested nature. I just can't. I can't. It drives me nuts because, like, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go for you.
Well, because we're talking about right here the idea that everyone is their own person and we can all feed off of it. And there's so much life out there to learn from. It fascinates me, and the idea that some people can just be so, just not give a shit about that. I just don't get. There's just a pure disconnect.
Well, yeah. So like, it's every interaction. It's a two-way street, right? So like when you're texting, right? Like I'm like a pretty good texter, whatever. I'm good at like having interactions with people over the phone and stuff. But like, if I notice someone's not putting in that same amount of effort that I'm trying to like have into this conversation, and they don't care, it also it brings me down, and it's like then you get the like the okays and like the like shortened sentences and like stuff like that. So it's you can't blame yourself for like I'm a bad texter, but if like everyone's texting you and just like blah, 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 like small little phrases and stuff like that, it's not your fault, for not like, like it. You gotta meet each other,
Yeah. Do you get sucked into sometimes thinking though that you need to try to not fix, but try to pull them out? Like every conversation I'm in, I feel like I need to pull that person out and talk more.
Dude, I'm like, especially like introverts, I love trying to like taking them out of their shells. But dude, there's just some stubborn fucking people that just like they just, it's like, I'm like, dude, just like, come on, come on. But they're just like stuck in their ways, and it's like I want to help you so much. There's so much more. There's happiness that just is around that corner. You can just, it's right there. Just fucking reach out and grab it. But they're just, I don't know. They're not willing. And it's like, damn, that sucks.
That's one of the reasons I love movies so much, man. And that's why I've fallen in love with acting, because when you're watching a movie, you're watching this person's story. It's the real life circumstances, and then you can watch it on film. And yes, they're pretending, but if they're a really good actor, it doesn't feel like it's pretending. And that's, man, I love every movie just to find, just for the experience of witnessing another person. And I don't know, I've never really talked about this like this, because I've yet to find someone that thinks like this, like me. And it's kind of crazy. I'm kind of tripping balls right now, man.